Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Berlino here in the world famous As It Should Be Studios. Crystal Durant
Hello.
in the world famous As It Should Be Studios. Tommy Von Voigt
What's up?
in the world famous As It Should Be Studios. And oh, the excitement, the palpable excitement, because we're going to be discussing our favorite albums of 2011.
Oh yeah, the excitement ends now.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
over.
Yeah, he was just excited for the announcement, and now I've made it, and it's
And then
all
he
over.
remanded me what year we're doing. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
well-
well, there goes that.
Womp, womp, womp.
Wah, wah, wah,
This is why
wah.
we can't have nice episodes.
Or things.
Yep.
Well, let me look at my,
Who goes
list
first?
here. All right, and I start this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah.
My condolences.
No, that's okay. Because I have a 10-album list.
What? How? Okay, just go.
And I
do
have
it.
an honorable mention.
There must have been a shitload of Polcore that came out in 2011.
I have a mention as well. And I also have a frog in my throat.
Oh, that's a new category.
Ribbit.
A
Right.
frog in my throat.
Brought to you by.
As it
Brought to
should
you
be.
by my list. Brought to you by my list. And my mention, I have a mere mention.
Mention.
Sly Stone with I'm Back, family and friends. I didn't know about this. I just learned about it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know this happened. So
Yeah.
it's okay. Now it's a mere mention, but now it's mostly lame remakes of a lot of his classic tracks.
Okay.
But there are 3 new songs on it, and they're actually not that bad. They're not great, but what you would expect of Sly Stone in 2011,
Yeah.
you know, compared to what you're expecting, it's pretty fucking good. He has a song called Plain Jane that sounds like something from the Life album, kind of. He does his own arrangement of the gospel hymn, His Eye is on the Sparrow, and he has a song called Get Away that sounds like an outtake from There's a Riot Going On. He even has like the same little drum machine thing on it.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
Well,
not as
here-
good as that album, but it's not bad. It's like it's not a train wreck.
Here's a question, though. I don't actually know the answer to this. Is he still alive?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
Well, it depends on what you...
How do you define alive?
Yes.
I mean,
Living in... Is his heart beating?
Yes.
okay.
Does he have freedom of movement? Yes.
Yes.
But
is
is
he
he-
breathing? Yes.
Is he like living in some trailer somewhere?
He
or
was,
just-
but he
was
came
in
into
a
a bunch of
trailer.
money, and which I'm sure he snorted up
Yeah.
at this point.
Because family members, friends, or whatever, because he got sampled a lot and all this other shit, discovered like, oh, there's this big cachet of money, and they got it for him, and then he probably did snort it all up.
Somebody
so.
came in and went to bat on his behalf and went,
Yeah.
I know that there's a whole bunch of money over there that nobody's given him.
Yeah.
And they went in and went, no. That's going over here. And he got it.
and then
And I don't know, who knows what happened
And
after
set it
that.
on
I'm sure he
fire.
doesn't have it anymore.
right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm sure he had that money for like a week.
Probably.
and then,
Yeah, maybe a week.
Anyway, so my actual honorable mention, PJ Harvey with Let England Shake.
No, I did not peg you for a PJ Harvey person.
Well, she's been on my list before.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Well, I'm not a huge PJ Harvey person. I like the first album, I like the third album, second album, I kind of get off the bus after the third album. But I don't dislike the records that are later. Like, I like this record okay. I wouldn't put it on my list, but it's worth having it on here just for the novelty of having an honorable mention in 2011.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, so my actual list. As tasty as ginger ale, my list.
This is yet to be seen.
Number 10, I have a guy named Miles Kane with an album called Color of the Trap.
Miles.
You know, a British guy.
Sounds like Paul Core to me.
Oh yeah, this
It's
this
a little Paul
reeks of
Core-ish, but not.
Polcore.
It's kind of Paul Core-ish because, of course, it's very 60s influenced.
British.
Wait, is this post Polcore, or is this
Could be, that could be a new genre.
post Polcore?
Post Paul Core.
Post Paul Core.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like a breakfast cereal. Post Paul Core.
Now with
episode
marshmallows.
Brought to you by Post Paul Core.
Oh my
Paul
god.
Core.
Free prize inside. Oh, every box comes with a record on the back.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Exactly.
And it always has Sloan, and it always
Yeah,
has...
it's always that.
It's always a Red Cross one.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Red Cross. Yeah. Just the whole. Get all the boxes. Get the whole Red Cross catalog. All the singles. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Miles Kane, whatever. Yeah, he's like a 60s influenced British guy. British people, British folks, you folks in the UK, you know who he
You
is.
know the deal.
We here, we don't know. I only just learned about him this past week. Number 9, I believe we were just discussing Paul Core, right?
We
Yes.
were.
I think we're probably going to be discussing it again because at number 9 I have Urge Overkill with Rock and Roll Submarine.
Drink.
Yeah. Well, this is their first album in like fucking 13 years or something, or more, 16, some ridiculous amount of time. They didn't do anything for forever, and they came back with this album. Not bad. It's a hell of a lot better than the one they went out on, which was Exit the Dragon.
Oops.
This is not great, but it's way fucking better than that. Okay. Number 8. Number 8. We have the return of Brent Cash.
Oh.
Brent Cash with his second album. His second album is called How Strange It Seems. Not as good as the first album. Sorry, Brent. It's good. The thing is that the first album is really, really good. So the second album is merely really good. So you just take one really out.
Okay.
You know.
You got somebody really interested in the comments.
There's a couple of
This-
guys
this
who've commented
Brent
on
Cash
it.
guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're making a difference in the world.
I am. I'm making Brent Cash fans. Well, all you Brent Cash newbies, you may like this album maybe more than I do. If you don't, don't even begin to worry because there's a third one coming up. That's gonna tickle your little fancy. All right, but not this year. All right, we coming up at number 7. And what we got coming up at number 7 is the Arctic Monkeys with an album called Suck It and See. One of the worst album covers of all time. You saw it below. You guys will see it when the episode airs.
Yeah.
But it's a good record. I like it. You know, I don't like the earlier Arctic Monkeys stuff as much. They start getting a little... They almost kind of go on a Beatles type trajectory, where the early stuff is really kind of direct and more kind of like guitar kind of stuff, and then they start spreading their wings. And they start bringing in strings, and the songs get more complicated and get more sophisticated, and they get to a point where you don't know what they're going to sound like. They could be anything. So they kind of go in that
Trajectory.
or trajectory. I don't know. Am I making up words? Trajectory.
I don't know, man. I tried with the Arctic Monkeys. They just don't work for me.
Yeah. Well, they work for me. They're on my
no-
payroll.
They're
Yeah.
a no boy for me.
They're on
Let
my
me ask you a
payroll.
quick question. How high up do they wear their guitars? Do you know? Go,
This
come
I
on,
don't know.
come
Because I
on now.
haven't actually
Come
watched
on.
any videos.
Because I have a feeling they're wearing those guitars a little bit too fucking
High
high
and
for
tight.
my.
High and tight.
Nope.
No.
I don't think they are.
Well.
But it was mostly my British friends who were like, "Oh, Crystal, you love the Arctic Monkeys," and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm
Well.
not saying they're bad. It's just not for me. Good for Paul.
Yeah. Well.
Paul knows best.
Prepare for Paul Core of the highest order.
Paul Core coming in hot. Incoming.
Incoming Paul Core.
Slow
Oh, for fuck's sake.
with the double cross.
Do they ever stop making records?
No, they
No,
don't.
that's the
They
thing.
don't.
That's the thing. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
Sloan, the reason why they're on these lists so much is because they're so prolific and their quality is consistent. Like, they don't have any records. I'm like, well, that one's not good enough. Like, every fucking Sloan
Record
record
is
is
great.
good. If you like Sloan,
No
there's
clunkers.
no shit Sloan. Okay, the first 2 albums I don't like much because they're really kind of 90s and a little shoegazy and a little... They're very 90s. But on their third album, they hit on this thing that they've been on all along. And the thing that's great about them is that they don't have like this one sound that they just do. They're one of those bands that just every song sound like they have a lot of songs that almost sound like different bands.
Really?
You know, again, I always make this comparison, but like the Beatles. I mean, you know, like if you think about how much does I'm the Walrus sound like Get Back? Like, those are 2 different bands.
Yeah.
And Sloan's kind of like that. I'll listen to a Sloan album I've never heard before and be like, I kind of recognize the voice, but yeah, this doesn't sound like any other fucking Sloan song. And that's one of the things that makes it so interesting, or keeps it interesting when they have that much stuff. It isn't like, you know, AC/DC or Ramones albums where it's like, oh, da 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 da.
Right,
Like,
right.
they always do different stuff. They always have really interesting guitar tones and just like bring in different instruments, and it's just, yeah. It's really good, and they all write songs, all 4 of them. So it isn't like one guy writing songs and one guy singing. 4 guys sing, 4 guys write. So
I'm sold.
yeah, there are a lot of you know, it's an onion. Slum.
Peeling away the layers.
There's much to peel away. There's so much going on in there.
Why don't you
It makes
peel
me
away?
cry.
Why don't you peel away
into the night? Something ain't right.
We need a new video to set to the El Chicano. Yeah, all right. Okay. Number five. The Zombies with Breathe Out, Breathe In.
All right.
Yeah, the Zombies. Now, the Zombies, of course, broke up in 1968-ish. Nothing in the 70s, nothing in the 80s. There was one brief reunion that didn't include Rod Argent in the 90s, and that it was very brief. Then nothing, and then Rod Argent and Colin Blunstone sort of reunited in the early 2000s and started doing shows as a duo, but they were billed as Colin Blunstone and Rod Argent. Then after a while, it caught on. It became a thing, and so they started calling themselves the Zombies, featuring Rod Argent, Colin Blunstone, and then it became the Zombies. And then they started making new albums. And
No, wait a minute. It was the two of them and then just randos?
yes,
Okay.
I mean, every once in a while they bring in the original guys and they'll do, like they did a tour a few years ago where they played the Odyssey and Oracle album in its entirety, and they had the original guys along for that. And they would do two sets. One set would be the original guys playing that album, and then they would do the other set with their normal touring members doing all the other stuff.
Okay.
So everybody kind of gets a piece of the pie, but they make good new albums. I mean, Breathe In, Breathe Out. There's some songs on it I don't like. There are a couple hokey things on it, but there's some stuff that's like, man, I mean, there are things on it that are like, wow, this is, I guess, what the Zombies would have sounded like in the 70s, I guess. So there's a little Steely Dan-ishness kind of going on in there. Like, it's good.
Okay.
It's good stuff. And Colin is still a great singer. In fact, he's a more powerful singer now than he was when he was younger. I mean, when you're younger, you have that younger voice, and now he has an older voice, but he's learned how to push out air. So he's like,
Okay.
So, whatever. Yeah, the Zombies. Number 4. R.E.M. with their final album, Collapse Into Now.
Really? That's their final album, the last one they ever put out?
This is the last one they ever put out, and they made this album knowing it was going to be the last.
And they not
They
like Kiss.
had their whole breakup planned out. They didn't just one day go, fuck it, and walk away. They were like, they kind of sat down and went, okay, what do we want to do, guys? Okay, let's get out. This is the point. Let's make this record.
And then
they put out the record, put out some videos, let the record kind of live and breathe for a little while, and then they made their announcement. I'm sure they had the date all mapped out and everything.
They've shown no interest in ever doing a reunion.
Yeah, that's
And that's the
I think they
thing.
really
It isn't
want
that
to
they
be
hate
done.
each other. They're still friends. They show up to one another's stuff. They just really all collectively went, we are done. And they don't want to be that. They don't want to be fucking Kiss and Ozzy and The Who and all these bands and go...
Rolling Stones.
yeah,
Stop
and,
it.
well, the Rolling Stones never, to be fair, never did a farewell tour. Yeah, they're one of those bands, I think, they have that kind of integrity or that kind of sort of like they refuse to be that band that like comes back after claiming they won't. You know?
They're like George Costanza. They get out right on time.
Yeah. So I really think they're out. But this album is a mixed bag. I have it at really I have it all the way up at number 4. There are songs on it that I don't like, but the songs on it that I like, I love. There's a great song called Uberlin. There's a song called Me, Marlon Brando, and I that is incredible. One of my favorite R.E.M. songs of all time. And so, the great songs, the songs that I love, are what bring this album up to number 4. And, okay. Number 3.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the Paul Core just keeps
Core,
on coming.
I knew it.
The Smithereens. With their return album. There are a lot of
Oh my
return
God.
albums of these bands.
Whiz.
Yeah, Urge Overkill returned this year with a new album. The Zombies had done a couple at this point. But,
So when did the Smithereens, when was their last album prior to this? What year?
2002, maybe?
2.
Oh.
And they come back 2011.
With an album called The Smithereens 2011. Because, they had an album in '89 called The Smithereens 11.
11, oh.
So
yeah.
this is the Smithereens 2011. And it's actually a really strong album. It's way stronger than the album that they left on previously. Way stronger. And
All right.
if you like the Smithereens and haven't listened to the latest stuff, well, this is the only later album they have. This is actually their swan song because they started working on a follow-up to this that they never finished, and then Pat Denizio died.
Right.
And yeah, so.
Got it.
Number 2, a band I have not mentioned before. This is Paul Core,
Brand new.
but it's new Paul Core. Pugwash.
Hugwash?
I'm sorry, that name alone.
Yes, the name. It's a terrible name.
It's a terrible
It's
name.
an absolutely terrible name.
I don't know. It sounds adorable. I'm picturing a pug covered with like suds and soap, just sitting in a bathtub, looking at you all confused, like.
I don't like pugs.
I don't like pugs either.
Oh.
I don't like
They're
pugs.
so sweet.
I mean, they are cute and they're nice.
Yeah.
On one hand, on the other hand, no. Pugwash. Pugwash. This is an album called The Olympus Sound. Now, Pugwash is really kind of the project of this Irish guy, Thomas Walsh. Thomas Walsh. He is this guy who writes incredible songs. He has a great voice. He produces great records, makes great tracks. He is basically Jeff Lynne, if you want to be real. He absolutely worships and adores ELO, and he makes great new ELO records. Not really, again, kind of like actual current ELO records, not a lot of orchestration. So, but they're like these really great Jeff Lynne albums that are better than the albums that Jeff Lynne can make now. With
Ouch.
far better songs.
Okay.
But hey man, Jeff Lynne himself has given it the blessing. He appeared on one of these records.
Oh, really?
Not on this one. So,
Wow.
no, this guy is good. This guy is fucking good. He is really great. I don't remember how I heard about them. Somebody told me about them, and I didn't really pay attention because of the name. And then a friend of ours, this is going to be an edit because I can't think of his name. A friend of ours, Dave the Boogeyman.
Oh, Dave. Yeah.
Dave the Boogeyman. He's a guy down in Bay Ridge, or Bensonhurst. I think he's in Bay Ridge, and he has like a pirate radio station, and he plays power pop shit and
Power
60s
pop.
stuff and everything. And these guys were in town, and he had a ticket, and he ended up not being able to go. So he said, "Hey, do you want my ticket to Pugwash?" And I went to the show. It was so great. It was so good, and made me even more of a fan because I had checked them out by this point and thought the record was really great. I was really lucky that I went to that show because the band disbanded after that. I mean, it really is the project of the front guy and the singer and the songwriter, so he's like the Trent Reznor of the whole thing. But the band kind of busted up, and ever since then it's kind of just been him making records on his own under the name. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going on and on about Pugwash, but really, it's like ELO meets XTC, like Skylarking era XTC. Obviously, a lot of Beatles in there. It's just going to be in there. It's high quality stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
So there you go, Pugwash. But number 1. In fact, number 1 is Glasses Off.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
How the hell do you have a glasses off for 2011?
Well,
How is that possible?
that is because it is the arrival of Charles Bradley. No Time for Dreaming. Yes. Charles Bradley. Oh, man.
So awesome.
Now, bear with me.
Get that intern in here.
Ugh.
Fix that nail.
It's on lunch break.
I'm going to lose my intern job.
It's on lunch break.
Charles Bradley. All right. Well, okay. So, around 2010, there were these string of shows at Music Hall of Williamsburg where Lee Fields was playing often. I would go see Lee Fields. And there was this one show. I have the poster for it up here. You can't see it. It's out of frame. I'll show you right here. There was this guy. You see, as you see on the poster, there's this guy, this random guy on. It's a 2 guys in the poster. You got Lee Fields. You have Charles Bradley. Who the hell's Charles Bradley? I didn't know who this guy was. But I thought, well, I know it's probably a Daptone thing. It's probably an old 60s, 70s soul kind of thing. That'd probably be pretty good. Man, Charles Bradley came out and just wiped the floor with everybody in the audience at this place. Just absolutely killed. And, they call him the Screaming Eagle of Soul. Yeah, he just came out and just blew the doors off that place. He practically made Lee Fields seem quaint afterwards. And it's one of those things where it's like an old 60s soul review where they have the same band. Band comes out and they play a little instrumental thing. And then the MC, all right, everybody, here he is from Brooklyn, New York. We have Charles Bradley. And Charles Bradley comes out and he does a set and completely blows the doors off the place, goes off. Then the band, all right, everybody, all right, get ready. Here we have Lee Fields, and Lee Fields comes out and does his set with the same band. It's all the, the Daptone guys,
Binky Grip Tight, all those dudes,
all those guys, yeah. And Lee Fields is also, of course, obviously great, and it's just this amazing thing. And I remember going to these shows all the time because then there was a whole string of shows where it was Charles Bradley and Lee Fields. And I just remember at the time I would collect these posters. I would go to like the coffee shop and these posters would just be up on the wall and I'd be like... And at the time I'm like, this is a thing that's happening here right now. I'm experiencing something that I'm going to be like, oh, damn, I'm so lucky I was there for that. I knew it when it was happening. And it turned out to be true. I mean... Charles Bradley ended up becoming a big star. He ended up becoming, world traveling, world touring. Everybody from here to Saskatchewan knows who he is now, but he only got 5 years out of it. He had a whole life where he, was washing dishes and couldn't cut a break.
Yeah.
He was well into his 50s before this happened. And he finally, all of his dreams finally came true, and, and then he died. So, and then now it's like how long it's been since he died, and it's like, and I was just looking at this stuff last night going, wow, this is that moment that I knew was going to come, where I'm looking back and going, shit, I got to experience this, because you and I got to go, you and I went to see Charles Bradley at Lincoln Center. We were far away.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was.
Yeah. It wasn't like being in a venue.
I have been
blaring,
in like pianos with him right here with his sweat hitting me, and like you don't even fucking know. It is so fucking amazing, and it sucks so bad that he's not around anymore. But anyway, so yeah, Charles Bradley, fucking great record, and there you go. That is that. Maybe we have commercials. We'll see.
Bold. Bold. Discover the hold of a longwear. Fancy. Fine. In the luxury of a lipstick. New Infallible Le Rouge from L'Oreal. Wear it. Exclusive Power Hold pigments plus luxurious vitamin E create sumptuous 10-hour color that grabs hold and doesn't let go. Grab it. Flaunt it. New 10-hour Infallible Le Rouge.
Do you feel it?
Only from L'Oreal Paris.
Because we're worth it.
Back.
Oh, are we? Oh, shit.
Here.
Oh, you're right. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that means that Tommy has something resembling a list.
Come on, Tommy, pull yourself together.
I mean,
son.
even if you have two, technically it's a list.
I shall rally.
Rally.
Okay, so...
Okay, give us all your honorable
Tommy,
mentions first.
You know what? I can't seem to find any of them on here. I know I had a ton of honorable mentions, but I think they must have gotten deleted.
No honorable mentions?
No
either?
honorables.
Well, I have some good stuff here. I have some Sloan.
No.
Some Sloan.
No, this list...
I have an extra Urge Overkill here.
This list is Paulcore free. It's devoid of Paulcore.
Therein lies the very first issue with your list.
Oh, God. It's my... the first issue is you managed to get 24 minutes straight out of a list of 2011 albums.
That's because I talked for so fucking
just
long
padding.
about the zombies and about Charles Bradley. And
I'm just stretching the time right now.
No, but everything you said was needed to be said. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, let's see if
I also knew what we were in for with you guys' list, so I'm like, I'm
you got it. So that we don't end up with a 9-minute episode.
15-minute episode.
Yeah. Well, I sadly only have a list of 4 albums for 2011.
Okay.
That's all I got.
I'm not mad
Well,
at that.
that's
all
you
I
know
got.
what? That's kind of your normal these days. That's the new normal.
I mean, that's
for
it is.
Tommy.
It's the new normal. It is. Yeah. But it's pretty up and down. You're going to see. Wait till you see next week. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So my number.
Sorry. Every once in a while, I just have to do Steven Tyler just out of nowhere.
It's just it's just the urge overtakes you.
it's-
You know.
It has to
It's
happen.
needed.
All right. My number 4 is the Cars with "Move Like This."
Interesting.
Yes, I put it on my. I made a list of a bunch of stuff I wanted to assess. As I went through and I looked at every album that came out this year, and I do that for all these years. And I'm like, just do a brain dump, basically. Just go through the list of everything that was released. Just do a dump and do a drive of everything I think has a chance of me liking it if I wasn't already familiar with it. And this was on there, and I took a listen to it, and it's not a great Cars album, but it's
Give it a
actually
listen.
significantly better than the album they went out on.
Door to
which
Door.
is
Yeah, I was
Door to
gonna
Door
say, it's
from
better than Door to Door.
1987. An abominable album.
And
really.
Door to Door is the name of that album, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, I knew it was something
1987.
about
Yeah,
doors.
Door to Door. It's a horrible album, but this was significantly better, and I'd have to give it a few more listens to see if anything really sticks with me. But it was decently strong. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I mean, it's 2011. What else am I going to do? Move Like This by the Cars.
Why not?
Okay, sure.
My number 3, the Aquabats.
Oh, they're back.
Oh, the return.
The
Return of
Return.
Aquabats.
No, The Return of the Aquabats was the name of their first album.
Oh, that's right.
Well, well, as has been shown with bands like Kiss and The Who, there can be more than one return.
Yes. Yeah, this is their 2011 album, High Five Soup, with an exclamation mark at the end of it.
High Five Soup.
Yeah, High Five Soup. Actually, every single one of the songs on here, and I think for the past couple of albums, every single song
Has an exclamation
exclamation mark at the end of the title of the song. Yeah, these guys are nothing if not committed. This is not a bad record. It's a fun record. It's a silly record. I'm kind of almost putting it on here as an apology because when we did 2005, I completely ignored their album Charge, which I realized later actually has some really, really awesome stuff on it. But I had completely given up on the Aquabats at that point, and I didn't realize, I'd mentioned in a previous episode, I think, I didn't realize that after I had gotten off the ship, they had like ditched the horn section and stripped things down to become like a synth rock band. Completely changed their whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So just, you didn't get off that train because they started to suck. You just became disinterested in what they did.
Yes.
They continue on and even kind of change it up and make it kind of better in a different way. You just weren't there
I wasn't there for it. I wasn't aware of it, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually would have kind of really enjoyed it. So I'm kind of giving them the respect that I should have given them then.
The respect.
Why not?
My number 2, this will be the last entry by this artist, and it is not a great album. But
Yet it's at number 2.
But
That doesn't say much for you, Aquabats and Cars.
it's 2011. What do you want from me? To quote Billy Squier, what do you want from me? That would be Lady Gaga with Born This Way. Now, this album is when I started realizing, this might not last.
Well, that doesn't last. She lasts,
She
but
lasts,
that doesn't
but
last.
that- doesn't
Yeah,
last.
well, but I mean by lasting, I mean like the first album came out, and I got into that after the second album came out. And I was like, the first album, my God, this is so good. And the second album, which was basically a re-release of the first with like another album included.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I'm like, who is this woman? She could do no wrong. She's doing modern pop music, but with really genuinely great songs. Obviously, if you don't like the songs, then you don't like the songs. But I was like, this is great shit.
Yeah.
I love what she's doing. And then I knew that this was coming out, and it was a huge buzz about this album coming out, leading up to it. Oh my God, the new Lady Gaga album. People like teasing what the album cover would be. And the album cover got teased, and it's like, ooh, this album cover is dreadful. But the first single dropped, and it was Judas. And the video dropped, and I was like, oh my fucking God, if the whole album is like this shit,
gonna be
this is
fucking
gonna, because
awesome.
Judas is amazing. And then the record came out, and it was kind of like a,
Not
like there are moments on here that are really strong.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of moments, it's like, she's really famous now. No one's telling her shit anymore. And this is a problem.
It becomes a problem for a lot of people. I mean, I remember when that record came out and she did an in-store. I think, was it either at Best. It was on 14th at either Best Buy. It probably wasn't at Virgin Megastore because I don't think it was there anymore.
No, I think it was a...
Maybe it was at Best Buy. I just remember being over there near Union Square that night, and it was a fucking
insane
madhouse around this place.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
All her little monsters were
The
out there.
hype, yeah, and that's what she calls her fans, our little monsters. The hype around this record was just off the charts. And then I think a lot of people got the wind let out of their sails by this one. And I don't think I'm the only person that kind of realized, like, uh-oh, when she's left completely to her own devices, she's this super, super famous celebrity. She could do whatever she wants. No one tells her shit. She's surrounded by yes men. Ooh, maybe the quality control slips.
Yeah.
In other words, post-Thriller Michael Jackson.
Nice.
I mean,
yeah,
you can actually you can
you're
draw
not
some
wrong.
parallels
Yeah.
here.
You're not wrong.
You're kind of right. And the music that she's put out a few albums since then. She's still going, and each one will have a moment or two where you're like, oh, that's the reason why I was
Like
into Lady
this.
Gaga. But the
Yeah.
rest of it is like really self-indulgent and hit and miss and weak and just
yeah.
not great.
It happens, people.
It happens.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that she like peaked like right out of the gate and almost immediately was just like fell right on her face. As soon as like this would have been the album where this should have been incredible, and maybe the ones after this were like,
Right.
uh-oh.
There should have been like a big 3 before the drop-off.
But
you
the
know?
drop-off starts on the third album. But let's move on to my number one. This one you might not actually know at all. I remember the single for this one, and I thought it was a really fun pop song at the time, and I reassessed this album, and it is just a hell of a bratty good time. It's a really fun record, and that is Sticks and Stones by Cher Lloyd.
You are correct, sir.
Crickets.
I do not know
Yep.
what this is.
Yep, I'll be getting a lot of crickets in the comments section. This was the hot thing at the moment that it came out, and then she kind of just slipped off everyone's radar. But it is a fun pop record.
Cher what?
Cher Lloyd, she's British. She's
Cher
this
Lloyd.
tiny little British thing with this ridiculous accent. It's adorable. And yeah, it's a fun album, really fun album.
All right.
Is she a one and done? I've never ever. heard
No,
of
I
her.
think she had a follow-up album that didn't sell nearly as well, and she's had like singles that she's released over the years since then.
Oh yeah.
Well, on this album, is it a thing where she was a thing in the UK, not so much here?
I think she was she was pretty hot in the UK for a minute. Yeah,
But it never really happened that much.
not
here.
so much here. I think a couple of the singles got a little action on the charts here, but it wasn't like everyone here all of a sudden knew
she
who the
didn't
hell
break
she
across
was.
the pond.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right.
All right. Well, there you go. That is Tommy's
And look at
top
that.
4.
I got 9.5 minutes out of 2011.
man, look at you.
Well, no, it's thanks to you, your efforts.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I I do what I can.
And you do it so
Yeah.
well.
You know what you could do? You could take
I'd
us
like to thank the
commercial.
Academy.
Oh my God, he's got a speech prepared.
And the Lord.
Oh,
Oh
goodness.
no, not the Lord and Jesus,
Oh boy.
please.
And I would like to thank our sponsors. All right, we are back.
Oh yeah.
And we got Crystal. We got a Crystal list.
Crystal, do you have a list?
We got a
got
Crystal
my
list.
list.
Oh!
And something like this. All right.
Oh.
So I have no runners up, no honorable or honorable mentions.
Sounds about right.
I just have a list, and it's only 4 things.
Oh!
Damn.
We
Yeah.
both have the same amount.
Twinsies.
Twinsies!
Yeah, as I said before we started rolling the tape, is that
The tape.
this
Yeah.
this is very dire these years.
Yeah.
These 4 years. Not good.
Slim pickings.
They're not good. And as I think I've said before, when Paul is like, okay, this is what we're doing, and I'm like, what was I listening to then? I don't remember what I was listening to then.
Shit
You're
from
listening
other
to Dark
years.
Side of the Moon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was listening to Purple Rain, Dark Side of the Moon, Radio. That's what I was listening
Who's
to.
next?
Who's
Yep.
next? And all that.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever changed. So here is my top 4 list. Coming in number 4, I got "Born This Way" by Lady Hoo Ha.
Lady Hoo-Ha.
And I'm not going to repeat what Tommy said because everything I co-sign with him. So just scroll back and listen to what he said. Lady Gaga.
Gaga.
God.
It kind of, she came out swinging, and then it kind of, the embers sort of died a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not mad at it. Shit happens. Like I said before, it happens to people.
Yeah.
And then also she wanted to expand her dreams because she wanted to get into acting and she wanted to do a bunch of other things and work with other artists, and that's fine. You do you, Lady Hoo-Ha.
Well, that's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
You just got to write good songs
You
while
just
you're
gotta
doing it.
write better songs. Whatever. She doesn't give a shit about what I say. All right, coming in at number 3, I got "Undone" by The Roots. Crickets. Everybody. Crickets.
Well, I've honestly never listened to The Roots.
Yeah.
Unlike Tommy's number 1, I of course have heard of The Roots.
Yeah.
But I haven't listened to
Listen.
them.
I've never dove in.
Yeah, so you should know by now that they are the house band on The Tonight Show, have been. Started out with Jimmy Fallon with his late night show. But prior to that, The Roots have been together for 10,000 years. Oh, there's an incoming phone
It's a
call.
long fucking time.
A long time, and they're from Philly. They busked all the time. They were at 4th and Passyunk with people throwing milkshakes on them from Ishkabibbles across the street.
Ishkabibbles.
Ishkabibbles. It was a long, hard, sloggy road, and they still consistently put out really good albums. This was their first concept album, which was based on this made-up person, and I'm not even going to get into it, but it's good. Undone. UNDUN. Undone. Coming in at number 2, I got "Stone Rollin'" by Raphael Sadiq. Now, I've talked about him before.
Yeah.
He was in Tony.
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 Which Tony was he?
He was the second one? I don't know.
He wasn't Tony.
He wasn't Tony, and he wasn't Tony. He was Tony! Exclamation point. Who is a really great singer-songwriter, producer, multi-instrumentalist. Fantastic. And this is still his groove of the things I just said. And it's good. You should listen to it. I like it. And then coming in at number 1, I got "No Time for Dreaming" by Charles Bradley.
Oh, yeah!
And I got nothing else to say, so scroll back to Paul at the beginning of the episode.
Do you co-sign?
I co-signed with Paul. That's all I have to say. And scene.
All right.
Wow, you got that shit wrapped up in 4.5 minutes.
Yeah,
so efficient.
1 minute per album.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, thank
Well,
you.
this is a big relief for all these guys. Now they don't have to sit here and watch this long ass episode of us
yeah.
talking about these records and
If you notice,
you have all this free time now.
I didn't even have any fun facts because, as I told Tommy before we started rolling tape, nothing's fun.
Yeah, nothing good happened this
Nothing
year.
good happened.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
receive any fun facts.
It's not funny. It's not fun.
this
in the
week.
word
No.
of Billy Crystal.
No.
That's for you, Gary. So yeah, that's all I got.
Wow. Okay. Well, I
Right.
hope you guys are going to be extensively hating.
Oh,
but we'll find out. We'll find
Yeah.
out.
A lot of hate.
A little bit of a cliffhanger. Let's find out.
I get asked to do commercials all the time, and I always say the same thing. First, I need some hot chicks. Second, we film at my house, so I ain't gotta go anywhere. Third, I record my own song.
Yo, bring it. Cool, refreshing, nice tea, drink it.
Oh, wardrobe malfunction. But once I try their products,
I always hate them.
so I bounce.
Damn, that is pretty good.
But I got one final demand.
No, we can't change the name to Eminem's Yo Ma. Bring it, Ma. num mother you.
Nice team!
See? That's why I don't do commercials.
Well, all right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
This is the part that's going to be the toughest
Okay.
for these two guys.
All
And this
right.
is the part we hate 2011.
That's we do. Yes, we got the contractually
Tommy,
obligated
you're going to have to
part
really
out of the
try
way.
hard.
Yeah. I will do my level best.
No,
But you start it.
I hate first.
Yes.
You hate first.
I hate first.
I'm hating in the middle.
I hate
And you're the Jan. You're the Jan.
I'm the hate meat in between the
the
hate
sandwich.
bread in this hate sandwich.
Yes.
The hate meat.
Yeah, I
Sounds
have
nasty.
1, 2, 3,
Hate
4,
meat.
5.
Yeah, but you know there'd be one old dude that goes to the deli and orders 3 slices of hate meat along with the blood and tongue. You
yeah.
know, I mean, there's
Mayonnaise and
the
pickle. Yeah. What you got, Paul?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runners up and a worst of the year.
Damn.
Now, something that I discovered going through the extensive list online of all the albums that came out this year, and it was a slog, fucking slog going through these.
True.
Obviously, I managed to get a full list. I have a pretty nice, healthy hate list, which technically could be far more extensive if I really put everything I hate on here. We've talked about this before.
Yes, yeah.
But one thing that really, really struck me going through the albums in this year is that we've hit a moment where there were so many fucking albums by male-female duos. I saw more male-female duo artists in 2011 than fucking hip-hop records.
Word?
Yeah, it was insane. And apparently that's just like the moment where that
That's the thing.
happens. That's like the big moment. And half of them are like these, indie bands that go jin 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 jin. All the indie bands that every one of them jin 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 jin
Yep.
jin jin. And then as the Hashiva, got it, we got it. We've been
Yeah.
yes, we got it.
I am not
Memo
there
has
for
been
any of
received.
I love it.
that. No, thank you.
So
Any of that.
Yeah. But on to my actual worst of list. This first entry is actually just a song. Because we didn't actually when we did the Singles of the Year series, we didn't go into the 2000s or the 2010s. We did one episode for each full decade.
Oh,
we did
right,
a 2000s episode,
And then
a 2010s episode.
So we missed a lot of stuff,
So there are
yeah.
a lot of little details that get kind of passed over on that.
Right.
And this song, I hear this every time I'm at the fucking grocery store. I feel like I hear this. And finally one day I went, okay, after years, what the fuck is this shit? And I Shazammed it. Turned out to be Pitbull with Give Me Everything.
Oh.
Give me everything tonight. I've heard that so many times
my
and wanted
gosh.
to kill. And just there came this moment where I was like, okay, you know what? Put the fucking bag down. Where's my phone? What is this?
Anything by
by Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Oh my god.
This is hilarious.
Oh,
I love it. That you,
Fuck
I
that
just
guy.
I hit the wall. There was
It
just a
haunted
moment
you.
where I
That is
cannot
funny.
hear this even one more time without knowing what it is that I'm hating so much.
that is good.
But anyway, now actual albums. The Scorpions with Come Black.
Scorpions!
Come Black. Okay.
I didn't even
Come
bother.
Black.
That's racist.
Yes, it is. No. Well, no. What this is, it was kind of a little bit of what
Scorpions
we were talking.
Corral.
Scorpions,
Scorpions Corral,
Scorpions and
little bit of,
Corral. Oh no.
Blackface. Yeah, it was the whole thing.
Face.
The whole thing.
Have a black face. It'd be black face.
Blackface.
I'm not the Jonah Corral.
This is gonna be our new tribute band. I love it.
Blackface, a tribute to the Scorpions.
Blakeface. Come Blake. Come Blake.
Oh, sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
Yeah, but okay, so the thing about this record is it's a little bit of what we've already been talking about.
Okay.
The Scorpions had gone on a farewell tour.
Oh.
But these guys did it a little differently. Some bands do their farewell tour and they vanish for a few years and then they go, fuck it, and they come back, right? Well, the Scorpions were still on their farewell tour when they decided, fuck it, it's not going to be farewell, and they made a new album. Like they were literally still on their farewell tour when they made this comeback album.
Oh, freak out. That's weird.
Hence the title "Come Black." The title,
Yeah.
the cover's like black and silver because they're edgy, and it's just like half of it is re-recordings of their own songs, and the other half is covers of 60s and 70s classics.
What?
Yeah. So the first half is them re-recording, "No One Like You" and all that kind of shit, and then the second half is them doing like the Who and the Stones and
What?
yeah, and it's just terrible.
It's utterly pointless.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the Scorpions.
Me
But at
too.
this point in time, they are just out of gas artistically.
They are adrift
Yeah.
in the worst kind of way.
They're
and everything
re-recording
about
their
this
own
record.
shit and then doing covers, and then this is our comeback record.
Well, that's just that. Yeah, basically that's what I was about to say. Like, they decided they had more gas in them, so they could do this.
Right?
You couldn't write any new shit.
Like, hold on, stop. Oh, wait, stop everything. Stop the farewell tour.
999.
We have something more to say.
We
Yeah.
feel like we can re-record our songs and do some covers. Okay,
That's
sure.
Weird.
Scorpions. Maybe you shouldn't have come black.
Aye.
Actually, you should have, because we're going to talk about them later on a later date. But anyway, Billy Ray Cyrus with "I'm American." I'm American. Yeah, we know, Billy. We know you're American.
We
We
get
got it.
Your mullet says.
As I said earlier, memo received. I'm American. Have fun with that. Okay, next up we have Avril Lavigne with "Goodbye Lullaby."
Wow.
I don't know if I've mentioned her before. She's been on my list. Either way, it's time for a good old-fashioned...
No.
Now...
I don't know who David Bowie is. With her snaggle teeth.
well, she's too punk to know who he is.
Fuck that bitch.
Incredibly, I have failed to include her on any of my lists, my shit lists so far. My black, grinchy little heart grew 2 sizes when I saw that each and every one of her albums, after the first one, has sold half as much as the previous one.
Ooh.
Like, her first album sold like 6 fucking million records.
Yeah.
The second one, 3 million. But the thing is that she sold so many damn records that you get 5 records in and she's still going number 1. And the third one sold like, 1.5 million maybe. Like literally every album sells half the
Of the
copies of the last
previous.
one. Yet she's still a big thing. I don't know, but it's been in decline ever since the first album, and that, my friends, is as it should be.
Boo.
Have you heard the? Not to derail this too much. Have you heard the conspiracy theory about Avril Lavigne?
No, bring it.
So, the conspiracy theory about Avril Lavigne is that after the success of the first album, it all became too much for her, and she was not responding well to all the pressures of celebrity. So the record company worked out that they were going to get her a body double, so that that body double can, make appearances and everything like that. Some woman named Melissa, and that Avril eventually was teaching her how to play and sing and everything like that, and then Avril just finally had enough and killed herself. And that the record company had Melissa take her place and pretend to be Avril Lavigne ever since. So that the first album is Avril, and every album since then is her body double.
What?
Now, it's obviously not true, but
She hanging out
it's-
with Paul McCartney
It's
somewhere?
one of those
Yeah,
things
really.
where when I heard that recently, and I was like, "Oh my god!" One of those insane things happened to her.
Well,
She got that.
The biggest hole in this whole thing, though, is that Avril Lavigne couldn't teach anybody shit. Anyway, so
Yeah.
next up we have Super Heavy. If you remember Super Heavy?
No.
I super
Super
don't.
Heavy is a super group. A
boy.
head-scratching super
Oh,
group
boy.
consisting of Mick Jagger, Joss Stone,
What?
Dave Stewart,
What?
A.R. Rahman, I don't know, and Damian Marley.
What?
And it's this weird ass fucking record that sounds like it's all those different people. It's a mess.
What is it called?
Super heavy.
I do not remember this one iota.
Yes.
Damian Marley, Mick
Damian Marley,
Jagger,
Joss Stone, Dave
Joss
Stewart,
Stone.
Mick Jagger.
Dave Stewart.
Yes.
What the fuck?
As in the Eurythmics guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one and only. Wow.
That is a weird lineup.
Yeah, and
That
then
is a
and A.R.
certified head
Rahman, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Rahman. He's a guy from India
Yeah.
who's an artist there, and so. And they literally had decided they wanted a little bit of an Indian influence, so they brought this guy in to add that flavor to what they were doing. But it's just all these disparate things that just don't, when you have bands where you have different people who bring in different things, sometimes it adds up to one whole something. This adds up to a one whole nothing.
One goose egg.
Yeah, just this adds up to a big question mark.
That's weird.
Goose Egg, the album.
Yeah.
But my worst of the year. Oh my god. My worst of the year. People, I just discovered this. I did not know about this. Scott Weiland,
Oh no.
The Most Wonderful Time of the Year.
No.
You know, based on that title, what I'm fucking telling you right now.
He does
No,
a
he
Christmas
didn't.
record.
He
No, he
did.
fucking didn't.
Scott Weiland?
Yes.
He did not.
He absolutely did. I was tickled pink to discover this because I knew it was going to be so terrible, and it did not disappoint. This is possibly worse than you're even imagining.
Oh.
He's trying to croon through these tunes, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to pretend I'm not reading my notes, but I am. Okay. He's trying to croon through these tunes, and in many cases, it's so bad that it sounds like he's joking.
Oh boy.
I mean, he sounds like he's drunk and trying to lampoon these songs, but he's serious. It is super heavy. I said that was a head scratcher. Oh, no. That's quaint. This is a fucking head scratcher. You need to go listen to this. Yes, Scott Weiland Christmas album. I mean, easily the worst of the year for me. That's...
Wow.
I mean, Scott Weiland on his own is worst of any year, but you had him doing a Christmas album?
That is mind-boggling.
All right.
Me no understand.
So,
All right.
Okay.
I think Tommy is ready.
It's Tommy. Sorry.
She's just turning back the clock over
Whoops,
here.
my bad.
Counterclockwise.
She's skipping ahead on the clock.
My bad.
Yeah, we would be remiss if I did not share my worst of.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I would like to think that you have a pretty healthy one.
Ooh, I don't even have any dishonorable mentions. I just went right to my worst of.
Oh.
Because it's implied that basically everything else that came out this year
Terrible.
sucked.
Yeah.
But there is one album that stands head and shoulders above the rest. And I am shocked. I am shooked that this did not make your list.
You know, before you get to it, going through the 2011 albums was such a slog. There were whole chunks of it that I skipped over because I was just...
That must be how you missed
it gets to the point where you don't even... I'm not even seeing... I'm not even
anymore.
reading anything anymore. It's just shapes in front of my eyes. So I probably glossed over it.
Well, I assure you, had this caught your attention, you would have realized this is absolutely deserving of a place on your list.
Wow, above Scott Weiland Christmas album. Okay.
That album would be
Oh, damn.
Lou Reed and Metallica with Lulu.
Yeah.
Feeling those pangs of regret washing over you?
Well, okay. On one hand, yes, but on the other hand, that is legitimate low-hanging fruit. That's like including Saint Anger on your list or Chinese Democracy, because of course. However, you are right. I do regret.
Oh, fucking bad.
I do regret.
I remember a reviewer, I think, at one time when this came out, was like, "This is an album for people who do not like music."
And they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
Oh my God.
God, I don't know. I mean, what was the thinking behind this? I mean, there was no way this was going to go well. There was no way. I mean, you got Lou Reed, who has just been terrible for a very long time, both artistically and as a person.
Well, he's always been a terrible person.
Pairing up with Metallica, who at this point in their career, what are they doing of any fucking use?
Yeah.
Cool haircuts.
But the thing about this is that this is a project that's even bad on paper.
I know. Like how?
And the entire
There's
journey
no way this was gonna work.
from thought to release. This is a bad.
It's not like they fumbled the ball halfway through. It's like this couldn't have worked. This was, this was a soup sandwich, as I've heard recently describing something. This was a soup sandwich from the start.
That's good.
That's putting it nicely.
That's going in my lexicon.
Yes. Anyway, over
Bitch, you are a soup sandwich.
Over to you.
Wow. Okay.
Also, I should say, actually, and you are correct, as bad as the Scott Weiland record is, that does deserve the top spot.
Yes.
Oh, wow. All right. My list is kind of long.
Good.
But it's mostly question marks.
Oh, I love when you do this shit.
Because these are people who put out records that shouldn't have, and you don't know why they did. So as for just like pure crap, the Carter 4 by Lil Wayne.
Oh, Lil Wayne.
Anything by Lil Wayne.
No Lil Wayne.
He's a fucking burnt roach of a human being. Then we got The Lonely Island. Andy Samberg's joke band or whatever.
Oh, the
fuck.
joke rap
I'm on a
group,
boat, blah,
yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
I just had sex.
Yeah, that too. And I don't, like, he was funny on SNL. He was kind of cute, and On a Boat was funny with 2 Chainz, and okay, I get it. But I don't know. This is what made me hate him. And then he did that show, what, Brooklyn Nine-Nine or whatever, and everybody's kept telling, never mind. All right, so then here are my question marks.
Oh, now we're on.
Or no, this is the other terrible thing. Give the Drummer Some by Travis Barker.
Oh, I don't know this at all.
I didn't even know he did that.
Yeah, now, if you're familiar with the term give the drummer some, then you should know that comes from James Brown. Because he would call out certain band members of his name, like, come on, give the drummer some. And that became a very popular terminology in hip-hop culture, give the drummer some.
Kind of like everything he ever uttered.
Yeah, pretty
Basically,
much,
yeah.
yeah.
But then to have Travis Barker have the audacity and gall to name his album Give the Drummer Some. When you were the drummer for what? Sum 41?
No, Blink-182.
Blink-182? I knew it had a number in
Oh,
it.
but before that, the Aquabats.
He was in the Aquabats?
Yes, he was. When I saw the Aquabats, he was on drums.
What was he, 12?
He was pretty young.
That's crazy. Anyway, you got a lot of nerve, Travis Barker. Go fuck yourself. So, question marks. Whitesnake?
Ooh.
2011?
Did they have an album this year?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I too bad I glossed over that. That might have made my list.
Uriah Heep?
Oh, well, oh, gosh.
Uriah Heep?
They're one big question mark all. down the
Stevie
line.
Nicks? Journey?
Oh.
Blondie? Yes?
Yeah. No.
They
No.
put out an album in 2011? Yes? They Might Be Giants?
Well, I mean.
Well, at this point, they're just a children's music band, though, I think, aren't they?
Nick Lowe?
Really?
Yes.
I listened to the Nick Lowe from this year.
What? What are you doing? And Loudness?
Loudness?
Probably with a different singer.
Loudness.
Yeah.
Now, no, I'm not going to say it because it's racist. Anyway, but the absolute worst of that year is Lulu with Metallica and Lou Reed.
Yeah.
That is on par with Songs for Drilla, that bullshit he did to honor Andy Warhol, which was horrible. Horrible. What are you doing? What?
Sucking because he can, I guess.
Comes naturally to him.
Yeah, I mean, aside from being a really not nice person, a bad person, but it just, again, like the audacity. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make this song in tribute to Andy Warhol, blah blah blah, Drella, da da da. Have you ever listened to that?
I have it.
I have very, very, very little patience for Lou Reed.
I mean, wow. And then this thing with Metallica, I need to know whose idea was it?
Yeah.
I want to think Lars had a hand in this.
It's nice
You
to
think
This
blame
so?
him
kind
for
of
shit.
smells of Lars, doesn't it?
I wasn't sure it was him or James, but you know, you got Metallica at this time, who are still with their short haircuts and their new drag.
Well, they had product too. Don't forget they had
They had
product.
schmutz in their hair.
Yeah.
So they're like turned a new leaf, and what was even that about? Let's do an episode about Metallica. Why did you decide to take baths with fire hoses and get a stylist? I don't understand.
Well, we kind of discussed this already in
Yeah.
a previous
We did.
episode.
I don't get it. Anyway,
we could always do a ranking the Metallica albums episode one day if there was enough demand for it, and we can go into deeper
Well,
detail on it.
that's
But,
easy. The first 4 albums at the top,
and
then
that's
everything
it.
else
else on the
stinks.
I
I'm not
got a
even-
15-way tie at the bottom.
Yeah, and I'm not even a huge. I'm not even a Metallica fan.
I think I can
enough to know
co-sign
all
on that one.
those records.
There
But I
you go.
know
We
the
got
top
bonus
4,
Metallica
and
ranking
that's
for
it.
trouble.
There you
Sorry.
go.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So yeah, this thing, it was on par with Songs for Drella, and it's just terrible from the jump, from the get go. Whose idea was it? Who put money behind it? Why did they think this was going to be a good idea. Even if they were saying, oh, they're going to be, this is their artsy-fartsy moment kind of deal. No, you don't give money to that. You do something else. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's also Metallica kind of...
Yeah.
What could they do that was even worth a shit with anybody, even without Lou Reed at that point? So, I mean, I guess it's neither here nor
It's
there,
just very
really.
weird.
Yeah.
It's just sort of an extra head-scratcher.
Yeah. No good. I don't like it.
No, sir.
Don't want it.
No.
Get rid of it.
Don't want it.
I don't want it.
Have they even themselves come out and explain? Because I'm surely they know how everybody feels about this record. Have they themselves been like,
Okay.
well, this was the thinking, this is
So
how
let
it
me say,
happened?
let me say this. After Songs for Drella, and I was, like tuning, like who I want them to talk about this, and they never really did. They just gave like their pat response, and that was it. The same thing when this came out. I was like, oh, come on, I gotta find something. And it was 2011. Did the internet exist a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah,
right?
of course it did.
So I drilled down, and I couldn't find anything. And to this day, I haven't really found anything
They've
where they
kept-
were just like,
They've never really justified this project. It's-
I think they're probably doing that whole, like, let's pretend this didn't happen.
Because this is something they should have talked about in therapy.
Oh, this was after therapy, though.
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
but they
This-
should have went back.
The therapy did not work.
And then
Post therapy,
another-
they do
whatever
this.
the fuck it was, like do more therapy and talk about it. So yeah, it stinks in the words of the critic.
All right, there you go. That is our 2011 hate.
Hated it.
And here comes a commercial that's great.
Welcome to 4G. Don't touch my hair, man.
All right. This is the new version. This is 5G.
No, now it's 4G.
It's just 5G. So
Okay,
now it's 5G.
This is 5G, I think.
It's a 5G.
What you talking about?
Just a 5G. Just
I'm
say a
getting
5. Just
pretty
say
damn-
5G.
All aboard the 5G train! How many bloody G's are there?
I'll take it from here.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna lose Ozzy and bring in the new one.
Marker.
Ozzy's in the background, guys.
What?
He's in the background.
Is this the way out?
The new buyback program. You buy it now, we buy it back when it's time to upgrade. It's Bieber 6G Fever.
What's a 6G?
What the f***'s a Bieber?
I don't know. Kind of looks like a girl.
All right, well, it's time to get the hell out of here.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Had quite enough 2011 for one moment.
Yeah, because the sooner we get out of here, the sooner we can get into 2012.
Fuck!
Oh, boo.
Why does time have to go forward?
Well, but it's okay. But it's okay. You'll have a little bit of grace period because before that we have vintage photo time. All right, so we have Crystal here in 2011, and she says, in the summer of 2011, our friend Jesse Krakow had an epic fever dream about performing This Is Spinal Tap live on stage. Not just the songs, but the skits and everything. So on 11/11/11, National Heavy Metal Day, we did the damn thing in Brooklyn at the Rock Shop, which closed a long time ago, and wow, it was beyond nuts. I sang Hellhole, wrote a verse in German, and did BVs on Rock and Roll Creation. Mike Fornatel is crushing over on the left. That's Robbie C. Hag Mangano in the pod with Nick Dukowski and Ward White on his right. The epic adventure is all on YouTube. Search None More 11 for rehearsals in the show. And here I am in 2011 with my fellow customer service representative, Ice-T. And we're here to answer any questions you may have about our product. Actually, the product is Ice-T's autobiography, which he was signing at Barnes & Noble that day. And this is Tommy in 2011, and he says, this is Bad Magistrate live at the State Theater in St. Pete. I would often do outfit changes mid-set, rotating through different elaborate jumpsuits. I wanted to be in the darkness so badly. There you go, that is Crystal and me and Tommy in 2011. All right, so there you go, that's us in 2011. And here is us in 2024 getting the hell out of here. But before we get the hell out of here, you need to get the hell down to the little subscriber button there and click that.
Do it!
As well as the little bell. And subscribe. But you definitely want to come back next week because we're going to be discussing 2012. And let's see if Tommy can get up to 5 albums.
Just please be here for us. We don't want to have to do 2012 alone.
And once again, Vampire God, what's her face?
Naughty Vampire.
Naughty
Vampire God.
I'm loving you and Damar and all the other people who double, triple, quadruple down with your lists and singles of the year, especially through these lean times. And my assumption is that you're at least 15, 16, 20 years younger than me anyway, for you to be into these things. So I'm always interested to learn more about what the kids liked.
Well, yeah, also, but the thing about their list, also, they're listing a lot of things that I've
never
didn't
heard
know
of,
about.
didn't
So it isn't
see,
like they're
yeah.
listing things like, oh, yeah, but that sucks, that's why it isn't on my list. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it's
so,
good.
Yeah.
You guys are good. I love you all.
Yeah,
They're
the comments section is actually kind of an important part of
It
the
is,
show.
it's huge.
You watch the episode and then see how everyone is jumping in with their own lists, and kind of you're going to learn some stuff.
Right. Well, and they have their own conversations
within the
themselves.
thing,
They
yeah.
kind of,
I like that.
Yeah.
Because every Thursday at 10, I have my alarm set for 10:59 while I'm at work at the dog office.
And 59 seconds.
And 59 seconds, and then it comes on, and I'm like, yes, because I don't remember what we did. Let's be honest.
Because we do these episodes in a fugue state.
Yeah, in a fugue state, yeah. So I don't remember. So it's fascinating for me to watch, and then I watch it initially, like right off the bat. Then I'll watch it a couple hours later. Then that night, because the comments pile up, and it's good. So please don't stop.
Don't stop.
doing.
Sure shot. Gonna get right out of this episode. Not wait. I can't.
Now you're only eating
keep
cars.
running. Sure
See, I'm as
Man
good at
from
rapping
Mars.
as Debbie Harry, actually.
Now he eats guitars?
every
Now
bit is
he
good.
only eats guitars. Get up!
Bye.
All right, see you guys later. You know, when we do this, what I need to do is get up as early as possible to do this, but the problem is that I'm burning the candle at both ends. I find myself the night before staying up late going, oh fuck, I still, my lists aren't quite, I don't have the order of these yet, and I'm still like doing the last minute shit on my lists. And so kind of my sleep goes like this.
Is that what it is? Because a little birdie once told me that what's actually happening is you're staying up till about 5 o'clock in the morning watching Rhoda.
Well, that's what I would like to be doing.
I can't tell you who this little birdie is.
That's what I would like to be doing.
Could be anyone. Could be anyone in this room.
Oh.
Certainly it's not me.
Well, Obvi. Totes Obvi.
Totes my goats, Obvi.
Totes my goats.
That's a normal evening. On the night
regular.
before, yeah, I'm
different.
doing the last minute shit on the
Getting your list
lists
together.
that I haven't finished, you know.
Sourcing bananas. You
Well, yeah,
you gotta
yeah, I only have-
get. You get
What is this?
Kind of old.
oh,
So we're gonna have one splotchy brown banana on this
singular
episode. Hey, you know
banana.
what? That's better than none.
this is true.
Okay, all right.
Oh, we're
running
doing.
now.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Well, all right.